What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Black Sabbath from the self-titled debut album, 1970. Thank you again to Han Solo for sharing this and a great welter of other music. And the next track is called The Wizard. Obviously, wizards are conjurers or conduits for magical powers. That could be, of course, a more literal and thus fantastical reference. It could be a more metaphorical or figurative reference, someone who is very skillful, perhaps to the point of being mesmerizing and having people fixate on them or being transfixed by their behavior and their ability to marshal forces and to apply them in ways with great consequences and perhaps confusing ramifications. I was trying to think of the right word to indicate direct physical results, even if the forces being employed might be metaphysical or preternatural. But yes, it is a term that shows up in many different contexts, more, as I said, fantastical or more real world, even if that is often through figurative or metaphorical means. So not really having a sense for Black Sabbath's writing tendencies, although again, hearing people, including Han Solo, talk about war pigs and the way that came from an earlier song which had mythological or indeed supernatural bases and then was perhaps extrapolated into a more physical or realistic geopolitical context. I wouldn't be surprised if it operates on multiple levels. Let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Black Sabbath. The tune is The Wizard, and it's from their 1970 album, Black Sabbath. Is that a harmonica? That blues rock feel. The drumming.
Misty morning, clouds in the sky. Without warning, I went to walk by. Got big shadow, weaving the sky. Some great clothes, twinkling bell. Never talking, just keep walking. Nothing is magic. ever talking, just keep walking, spreading his magic.
Didn't know it'd end there. So, yes, love the blues rock mixed with a heavier guitar and early stage metal, I guess. Again, the metal that I'm familiar with is the like new wave of British heavy metal, especially Iron Maiden. I think I talked about this in the first Black Sabbath reaction, which actually there's been two. One that was a video reaction and then the first audio reaction from this album. But yes, Iron Maiden, a little bit of Metallica, and some of the bands that I think were part of the wave like a decade later. But I know, again, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, there's some bands that are considered the true pioneers of what would become the metal sound. But I'm surprised, even though, again, Han Solo did mention that the earliest stuff, it has a very bluesy feel, including Ozzy's vocals, which again is the case here. But even saying that, and even knowing that by this time, I'm surprised at how much the blues rock feel of their tunes does come through, if admittedly with a harder edge guitar sound and with some elements that definitely speak to an emerging metal sonic framework. So yes, love the harmonica, especially that sort of harmonica solo part. I'm enjoying Ozzy's vocals, and knowing only Ozzy stuff from later down the line, especially from some of his solo material, this is just a real treat to hear him early on, and the bluesy, soulful delivery of his vocals. And yes, I don't know exactly what's happening thematically, but we are getting reference to a wizard walking by and he's not saying anything. It sounds like the people around him are happy, was that the line? But that could be maybe through a fear of what spells he might cast. So you sort of, oh yes, like I'm happy to be in your presence because I don't want to cross you or get on your bad side. But maybe it is more sincere and genuine. I still wonder what metaphor or figurative meaning this might entail. Maybe it is just a fantastical tale about a wizard who can, again, conjure magical powers and apply them as he wishes. But I do also wonder whether there's a reference to a certain type of person or a powerful person that, again, is perhaps dangerous if you're not following him. But there was that line about, what was it like? He walks by and then we're in his shadow. So it sounds like a person who has a great import, a great effect beyond that of normal people. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening here lyrically, other than the significance of the wizard being referenced seems to be quite notable, whether it's more literal or figurative or indeed operating on multiple levels. I do love the cycling, syncopated, and very dynamic drumming. That's something that absolutely stood out to me on the first reaction I did, which was to that live performance, the video of War Pigs in France, and certainly the opening Black Sabbath self-titled tune definitely hit me in that way. But this one, now that I'm getting a sense a little bit of their early sound, it seems like his drumming is really notable and as I said, a very dynamic and, let's say, less simple drum rhythm characteristic, meaning there's a lot of drum rhythms where even if the sonic timbre of the drum sounds great, and even if it's a very fast and, demanding type of drumming, it doesn't stand out as much, or, though examples of that doesn't stand out as much as this, where it feels like my brain is taking a minute to even sort of understand the rhythmic meter of the drumming performance. It's just a very atypical or complicated drumming style. So I'm very much enjoying that. Looking forward to more. Once again, shout out to Han Solo for sharing this. And there's not just this album, there are more albums in the folder. So looking forward to hearing an evolution over time, which, again, I wonder as I sit here in this early stage, whether some of the bluesy feel will eventually become less significant, whether that is something that will continue even as other parts of their sound evolve, and of course wondering whether the very bluesy, soulful vocals from Ozzy will continue in that way. So looking forward to the journey. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.